welcome to Hanging with the Hooligans. This is Doug, and I am joined by Alex and Chuck.
Chuck James.
You're gonna make him introduce himself after you introduced me?
Well, what? You want to introduce yourself?
I thought he was trying to.
Introduce
No, I was just
yourself.
like, I'm just like, hey man,
Well,
what's wrong with Chad? Chuck,
I keep going like,
It's hard, yeah.
yeah, I like,
five
damn,
seconds into the show, I'm
Damn.
saying you're wrong.
Oh, you fucked up. Ah, that's funny.
right?
But no one will know.
Censors, yes.
Don't worry.
There's just a
I can introduce myself. Hello, I am Lieutenant Titus Cadis of the Ultramarines 11th Company. I am deep in the throes of a Warhammer kick. Please help me. It's been like, I think close to a month of just pure Warhammer.
He does it for the Emperor.
Yeah, and I'm a Chaos guy, but you don't have much of a choice when you play Space Marine too. So
I was about to do a spit take, and I was like, nah, this is my house. I gotta have to clean that up later.
And that's what we're gonna keep recording at your house.
yeah, if I had the option, I would go full heresy. Well, I did with Rogue Trader because, like I said, I'm so deep in the.
Oh, how is that game?
It's pretty good. I mean, it's not Baldur's Gate 3, but it's pretty good.
Okay, all right.
And I'd say it's closer to Pillars of Eternity, if you know what that game is.
No, but I have heard that it's like XCOM 2-ish, if you haven't ever played that.
Okay.
Where
Yeah, I mean,
it's-
it's a CRPG. You know what those are.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, when I started playing Rogue Trader, I was like, this is not the same vibe as Warhammer at all. But then after a while, I was like, oh, wait, yeah, it is. It's just the character is not. Like, the Rogue Trader itself is not. Because it's like, yeah, the Imperium's fucked. And he's like, well, I'm rich, so you give me shit.
Well, yeah, that's pretty much what rogue traders are. They're just,
Yeah.
they're just the rich. They're the nepo babies that go out and do shit for no fucking reason other than I'm
Yeah.
curious.
And you could choose to be a heretic on that. That's the first game, I think, where you could actually be a heretic. So I'm a full-on heretic noble. So that's been fun. I was doing that, and I'm going back. I went back to playing Dark Tide, so that's where I play a Psyker. And then Space Marine. You just play Space Marine. And I was playing that. I was playing that with our buddy, our mutual friend, Andrea. I don't know her fair name, but from our guild.
Oh, okay.
Her and I believe I played with her and her partner. I think that's her name.
okay.
Yeah. Shout out because they literally just let me just play. They played like the same 2 missions again and again, and I just kept racking up points. And I even was like, "Hey, I need this component for a weapon," so they made the difficulty higher for me. And I got to upgrade some weapons because of that. And that's cool though because they were very reliable compared to being in like random lobbies with people that either suck or I just suck.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had it together lately though. Like usually with the games like Dark Tide, I'm ass at.
It's time to get good, son.
Yeah, Space Marine, I'm good. Like once you guys get involved in Space Marine, when and if, I'm assuming you will.
Oh,
eventually.
definitely. I mean, at this point in
James.
time, I just did all my budgeting and stuff, and I'm like, ooh,
Yeah, I'm
this is
ready.
not a good thing to know.
I'm ready to carry. Once like I get more friends going. I did not get to carry them though. They were pretty good.
Yeah.
They had their shit maxed out. I maxed out my tactical with them.
And there are so many games I need to catch up on. I'm getting at the point where it's just too expensive. It's like if you're getting, depending on what version of a game you're getting, it's like $80 to $100.
Yeah. Well,
It's-
so when I first told you about Space Marine, I got the $100 version because it wasn't officially released yet. And if you got the $100 version, you could play it a day early. And it's like, that's cool, but also fuck you at the same time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, only reason I did that though is because I wanted to play with Dakota. And yeah, I played with Dakota for a little bit, and I just like went straight into campaign.
Mm-hmm.
And then that just kind of fed into me going like, all right, let me get my actual Warhammer army together. So, yeah, bought a fuck ton of figurines I got to put together.
I still got to put mine together, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one we went halvesies on.
Yep. Yeah, I gotta even really. I haven't looked at mine in a long time. I'm just waiting for us all to get together and start painting or something.
I want to get another table like that and then put that in the living room here, so that way we can do painting over here too.
That'd be rad.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta assemble them first, then you gotta prime them.
Well, and then you could also bring them over and we could just assemble them too. Have an assembly party too, or I mean, I'd have top stove.
If I brought everything here too, that's all I would do basically is assemble them because I got one of those boxes that has like 26 minis.
Yeah.
The Combat Patrol. Anyways, so you recently went on a trip, Doug.
Oh yeah, yeah. I went to Washington. I went there for a wedding. I was somebody's date. Hi, Alex. I don't
Hi,
think she's
Alex.
gonna listen to the podcast, but if she does, hi, Alex.
You
I
know-
love you. You're so adorable.
You know what makes me sad?
What?
Is my SIM card doesn't work, and she messaged me. You know, and I don't remember if I messaged her like forever ago or something. But yeah, she randomly messaged me, and I was like, "Oh, I want to say hi and everything." I can't because my freaking phone's not working.
Well, now you can.
Yeah. Well, technically, yeah.
Well, via
You know.
podcast too. I was just.
Yeah.
I was-
Hi, Alex.
Yeah.
So it was for her brother's wedding. Excuse me. And I got all dressed out in my kilt and everything. Looked really good. Yeah. So that was fun. What was really weird was that apparently we were, like me and her going in, we were kind of like knew nothing of what was going to happen or what was going on. And so as we got there, like we were sitting at the top table, like with the bride and groom there and stuff, and we were at the end. I was just like, this is weird. The only time I've ever sat up here was being like a groomsman, you know. And so that was fun. I also got really wasted, so that was even better. But it was good. It was good. And then other than that, I was over there for a whole week. So what we did is we went up to a candy shop. I can't remember the name of them. I have them in the freezer over there. I'll have to insert. Are you good at editing yet? Where you could just like insert a brand name if I put like a space.
Like what kind of brand name?
Well, just the name of the candy people I went to because they're awesome. They're like a Washington local factory up there, and
You don't even have to put a space. You just make a space. You just
I have to look into that. I don't know if we have to have permission to use any of their
oh,
logos or anything.
true.
But
I mean,
definitely
I'm not. Yeah. Anyways, we went to that factory. We don't have to insert their name. I just wanted to give them a shout out.
We talk about D's nuts all the time. I feel like we can talk about.
Yeah, I
that
mean
too.
it's just a small company over in Washington that makes these like little like powdered sugar covered with they're like gummies. They're like gummies with nuts in them. Really good, like made from real fruit and stuff like that.
the second product we've gushed about that's about nuts.
They got nuts in their stuff too.
Gushing.
It's good shit. Anyway, so then from there we went to a little town called Leavenworth, which is like nearby. It's like a little German like looking town, so everything was like that area of Europe looking, like Swedish to. Actually, I think it was a Swedish town because they had a person out there with one of those.
village boy.
No, Bulgarian. Bulgarian?
Bulgarian.
No, Bulimi.
Okay.
I'm gonna hate myself because I'm not
gonna
gonna
be
remember
honest.
the
So
name of.
Bulgarians are like Slav, and then you got like your.
They're the ones that have like the giant horns and blow them on mountains.
Like Swedish people?
Is that Swedish?
That's Scandinavian.
I'd have to go back, but I feel like you were about to say bulimia, and I was like, "That's a place."
I was about to say bulimia, and I was like, "That's not a place."
No, I thought you were gonna say because I think there's like a somewhere in Italy where it's like bolognese or something like that.
Oh yeah,
That's the
I know that
bologna.
one.
Yeah.
Bolognese.
Bolognese.
Yeah, bolognese. I don't know what it's called.
But
But remember when I was playing Crusader Kings like the last time we recorded, like 2 times ago? Gave me a lot of good like geography.
Oh yeah, I do remember.
Yeah, it gave me like big geography.
lessons.
Yeah, I was like, damn.
Oh yeah, no, that's how I learned lots of my geography was just through video games.
I was like, damn. So that's where Switzerland's supposed to be. Never realized that.
I mean, I ain't putting down the public education system, but like it really stuck when I played the game as opposed to when it was like, oh, I'm reading it in a book.
I don't even think,
Or looking at a map and being like, there it is.
Some people had to do geography in school. I don't think I did.
I don't think I did either.
Well, mine was like tied in with like history / geography.
Yeah, to a point. I think
for
I
just
anyway.
saw maps in history and I was like, yeah, that's.
We had to memorize the first 13 states. It was weird.
Yeah.
That sounds like some elementary school stuff.
That was, I think it was like 5th grade.
And again, it
sucked.
felt like we had a repeat of that the entire time we were in school. Like, it was just something it felt like we just kept going over and going over.
Yeah, we briefly went over world history in middle school, and then they're like, all right, time to hyper-focus on U.S. history for high school. And it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. Even freshman year, we had social studies. It was what it was called. And that was kind of like just general worldview history.
Uh-huh.
But then everything else was like American history. And like, it was like, I mean, looking at it today, it was a very watered down version of American history.
For your history teacher to be like, it wasn't even the real shit at the end of it.
Right? Right? What drove me insane was that, like, I understood that, like, schools were getting their, like, funds cut and shit like that. So one point somebody brought up was like, look at your history books and look at when they were written and published and stuff. And so let's see here. Going to freshman year of high school, that would have been like, what, 13? No, 14?
I'm not 100% on that.
Anyways.
Chuck and I are summer babies.
Oh.
So we're a little different.
I'll also know that out of all, even though people would say, oh, California, liberal this, blah, 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 California and many other states are victims of I think they're called the Southern Sisters or something that.
The Sisters of the Confederacy.
Yeah, and they're essentially their, like, campaign to sugarcoat history as much as possible, especially involving the Civil War stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Where, like,
There was the weirdest. I think the weirdest thing I heard from one of my teachers was, they were all American civilians, or they were all American citizens, or something like that. And I was just sitting there going, kind of like, I mean, I don't know. Like, it seems like half of them were like, fuck this place since I can't own people, and the other half were like, come on, bro, what are you doing? And then the other half was like, no. Fuck you, I'm going to create my own state now.
Yeah, they were all American civilians by the end of it.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Some of them were slaves, some of them were slave owners.
Sweet Mary Joseph. And then we didn't even get rid of it from there. We opened up our prison system and just being like, oh yeah, you know what? We're going to have these nice gray areas of, what former slaves can do, what they can't do, and then just round them up and throw them in.
Well, there's a little bit of stuff there first, but yeah, you're right though, because it is all about like the black codes and the Jim Crow laws and stuff like that. You have the book right there that I got the information from.
No, I do. I should reread that.
It's one of those things where you're like, wow, this is really important information, and it's so hard to fucking absorb all that.
Yeah, no, it is, because. It seems to just always break down to just, can't we get a fucking along? Like, can't you just leave people alone? Like, can't you just keep your fingers out of other people's pies unless you want to add to the pie?
But what if people don't think the way I do?
What?
What if people don't think the way I do? That has to stop, right?
No.
My views are more important than yours, right?
Ew. Cringe.
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
Well, it's funny because that is like that does happen the other way around though, because we make fun of weirdos a lot. And, like JD Vance making shit up about fucking Haitian immigrants and shit, and we definitely there's an extent where like I don't want to get along with those people.
It's just and here's the thing, like I'm trying my best not to like continually villainize anybody who says, I vote Republican or I am conservative or, wear a Trump hat or whatever it is. Like, I tried not to, but at the same time, they make it so easy.
Oh, dude,
You know what I mean? Because they're just mean people to start with, and then their president basically gave them permission to be mean to everybody else, and now here we the fuck are.
No, so many people are just when I see. So there's quite a few people from my hometown, or should I say, me and Alex's hometown, that aren't necessarily mean people. They're just fucking morons. Our buddy Gilbert actually shared screenshotted someone's status where it's just like, dude, you're just making this up, because she was like, oh, I work at Costco and it gets so hard as a single mother who could barely afford to live here, because it's in San Diego where it's really expensive, by the way. But seeing all these families that are obviously not legal here.
What the fuck?
Get like 4,000 in EBT and blah blah blah. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
4,000 in EBT.
Yeah,
God,
fucking right.
I wish,
Bro, I remember a point where I was making like $8 an hour, and or not $800 an hour. What the fuck?
You said $8.
Oh, $8.
No, you said $8.
Oh, okay, my bad. Yeah, I was making like $8 an hour, and I was homeless at the time, and they were still like, "Oh, you make too much money. Here's like $120."
Yeah, I remember
for the month.
I got
what?
I got EBT twice, and one time I got $200. I was like, dude, I'm set. And then they just never gave me. They just never refilled it after that.
Yeah.
I got $200 once, and I was like, dude. Homeless, no job. Yeah. But also, no, they do encourage you, like, try to get, like, if you have rent and stuff, we'll help you. If you have this and that. So being homeless they don't give a fuck about you.
No.
But anyways, so this chick is lying, and also being completely racist in the sense of, like, what? How did you know they're illegal?
Yeah.
What makes you say it? What is it about them that you saw
Jeez
these people
Louise.
coming? They don't have a card that says, "Hi, I'm illegal."
Right?
"Hi, I'm illegal. Here's my EBT card." Like, this chick was just saying that shit about, obviously Mexicans.
Yeah.
And, yeah, disgusting. And then this other chick I saw make some post where I was just genuinely confused that she was angry about schools having a thing where basically, it basically said, like, your student can, or your child on the thing could, like,
opt out of the pledge or something?
well, could have their name different in, like, the essentially their, like, online schooling system or their school system thing. It was called Power School in the thing I read. And I was sitting there like, oh, so this is kind of like if, say you have a kid and they decide they're trans. This is so they could change their name through the school. Only through the school. It's not like you're legally changing their name. So if they decide, like, oh, I'm actually a boy or a girl, they could change their name to a boy or a girl name, and the teacher will respect that.
I don't
And
think
also,
that's wrong.
yeah, and also, like, something about their sexual orientation was there, too. Like, basically, like, probably just being, more inclusive, And the, person was like, they shouldn't do this. And I was like, what? Did you have to have permission? Like, did you need your parents' permission with, sexual orientation? Like, like, there's gay kids that went to school with us. Do you think they asked their parents to be gay?
Yeah.
Because they didn't. So why are you getting mad? Like, if you have a gay kid, they're just going to be gay. They're not going to ask you about it. They're not going to ask you for permission. And same thing if they're trans. Like, sorry, you could decide to be a fucking asshole if you want.
Exactly.
And, I'm going to call you by your name that makes you want to kill yourself when I call you it. Like, you could do that if you want your kid to kill themselves.
Or just even have them just stop talking to him, period.
Yeah.
I mean, hell.
That's the good ending. That's the best case scenario is like, oh, you're going to keep calling me by that name? All right, well, when I grow up, I'm never talking to you again.
Yep. And that's why I'm all for, like, these small communities of, like, communes and stuff like that, of people just coming together and living together, because, like, that's half the time just everybody coming together and being accepted into these communities.
What a fucking leap you just made.
Sorry, I was gonna say, how did we get to communes?
Holy
Sorry,
shit.
I don't
You're
mean...
like
okay, when I say communes, I don't mean, like, compound communes.
no, you're like, that's why,
You know?
like, I get what you mean, like, people get to, like, find a community of their own and like live together because like some people
Yeah.
don't have families.
Yeah.
Like I know what you meant, but I was just sitting there like, what a fucking leap right there from being like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna talk to my mom anymore. Anyways,
But then, like,
I live with 30 people
those-
on this farm.
well, but then those like communities get villainized by like the very same like like the churches and stuff. You know what I mean? Like the churches go like, oh, they're taking in on our gig of like, helping people. I guess like I don't think it's even that. I'm sorry.
we can do it.
I'm going off on a tangent. I don't even know where I'm going at this point.
He's-
So.
I'm interested to see.
He's
where you go.
yapping.
He's cooking. He's cooking.
As if that isn't what a podcast is. We just be yapping.
We'd be yapping.
No, I get what you're saying, and again, another strange leap because you're like, well, I get what you mean, but it was like where you went next was like the church is vilifying it, and I was like, yeah, I didn't get the reasoning there, but yeah, they would definitely vilify that kind of thing because they think that's just like a collection of reprobates or whatever. If we're talking about the case of like,
yeah.
It's a cult.
Well,
it's a cult.
I guess what I'm kind of getting at is like, the parents grew up under one religion and they were like wanting to imbue that upon their child, and then their child was like either not wanting it or maybe, they were wanting to be part of that religion, but for some reason that religion said they're wrong for some reason, whether it be because of their sexual orientation or their confusion about themselves or something like that.
Here's something I want to make sure that I say that pisses me off about like it's a huge misinterpretation of like Christianity because and it's Christians' faults. Well, a lot of Christians do this where the whole theory of Christianity is you are an imperfect being, you are full of sin, you cannot get to heaven on your own. That's the whole reason why you need to have faith in Jesus Christ and he'll be your salvation. So everyone's a sinner. Everyone's imperfect. But for someone to then be like, yeah, but I could find salvation if I believe in Christ, but a gay person can't because just being gay is just too much of a sin. It's like, no, Ted Bundy supposedly got into heaven after murdering and raping people. So that means the gay person could get into heaven too.
Yeah.
Because if Ted Bundy got into heaven, so can a gay person.
Mm-hmm.
Because in theory, in the whole just the religious theory of like we'll call it theological theory. If you look at like what sin is, it's like breaking the laws, God's laws, and as everyone points out in the Bible, there's a bunch of them. Mm-hmm. Everyone breaks them all the time. Even some weird ones like, hey, don't mix these cloth or these fabrics, and don't eat fucking certain food, and
Don't you touch that seafood.
But don't you know that's the Old Testament is what I always hear. It's like
well, there is
all
technically like the whole idea is like you don't have to sacrifice animals anymore.
Yeah.
To like get good with God because you now live because again the whole idea of that's the Old Testament is because Jesus died for everyone's sin. That includes the gay person.
Yep.
And your whole idea is like, yeah, you're supposed to repent from sin and be like, hey, but everyone who repents from sin still sins.
Right.
Because there's so many things. There's like, you could never possibly, be good enough.
It's like
for
the person.
God,
Well, it's like the person on death row that gets his sanctified from the priest and then eats a lobster right afterwards. For his last meal, he's like, okay.
Yeah.
Is he going to heaven now? I don't know.
Yeah, the whole, there. Some people tell you like, oh yeah, after you get baptized, you can't sin anymore. It's like, well, you definitely do because to like sin in your heart is to sin in the flesh and stuff like that. So like, if you see a chick with big titties, and you're like, oh damn, guess what?
You sinned.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely probably had some thoughts that like God was like, hey yo,
note down.
Yeah, enough. Kind of stuff. But like, it's weird because a lot of people will accept the pervert, but then they'll try to not accept the homo, which also a pervert in other.
Well, no, I get what you're saying.
I'm not saying all gay people are perverts, but
yeah,
there's definitely gay perverts too. But yeah, that's the whole deal that annoys me. And it's like, let's keep the rationale there. And that's also another thing that I hate. Usually, well, especially because atheist people do that. Do this a lot, where they try to play this game of like pointing out like cherry picking flaws, but missing like the overall philosophy of it. That like, well, yeah, everybody is wrong. Everybody is flawed, and that's supposed to be okay because of this. Because like, especially Catholicism, people think about it in the way of like Catholicism is like a big shameful religion because they're supposed to go like a lot. They go a lot harder with different sins and stuff, and you know, we've heard jokes on like Family Guy and shit about that in the past. That it's like that you should be ashamed because you poo and stuff like that.
Right.
I don't know because I've never been Catholic. I don't know how.
How harsh it is.
Yeah, but it's I know that the whole idea is that we're imperfect and we should know that we're imperfect, and that should be okay. That should be fine. Like we should strive to be better, and that's like that's the philosophy. Right?
Yeah.
Always strive to be better, but know that you can't be because you can't.
Well, and that's what I feel like all religion is it is a personal thing for you to strive and be better. So read your stories, learn from them, and become a better person from reading those stories. And go do things, but don't go telling people, follow God to get to heaven sort of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, or you could even, show them your book, be like, hey, yo, check this out. This.
A lot of people will blame like, Christianity for doing this as a whole, but I blame colonialism, imperialism, the Romans essentially, because after they killed Jesus, they're like, actually, this is a fire way to just colonize and convert barbarians, because otherwise they're just gonna keep worshiping like Odin and weird shit, and not our it's weird because they also were pagan, but they're like, no, we're civilized pagans. Zeus is cool. But they took Jesus and they're like, actually, let's do this, And, it's like such a weird colonial tool. And it's weird because that's still a thing we do today. But it's evolved. Because, like, obviously you have missionaries, and like Christian and Catholic missionaries, even Mormon missionaries. And they'll go to, like, Africa and be like, hey, here's food. Here's God. That kind of thing. And, back then it was a lot more about conversion and, like, converting them culturally, religiously, whatever. It's weird, though, because now the modern version of that is, like, democracy, Like, oh, yeah, we're going to go to this country and we're going to set up the government that we want to set up because we don't want them to be communists.
Right.
And so it's like the whole thing is, like, evolved in a weird way. I don't know. That's probably a weird leap for you guys to follow too. Is the leap from Roman imperialism to American imperialism? Mm-hmm. There's a slope there for sure, but it is like a couple centuries of a leap there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
But yeah, one of those things that annoys me a lot about people, especially all our friends who are like pagan stuff because it's anti-establishment in their eyes because they see Christianity as the establishment the same way like many people see a government as the establishment. It's like, well, that's because a government is using a religion as their scapegoat, basically.
Yep. God told me to.
Yeah.
Yep. Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
God works in mysterious ways.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely weird stuff about different ideas of people's religion. Like I had a friend who's, well, the one who got me into Alex Jones a long time ago. Crazy, weird conspiracy theorist. And his idea of like what heaven was basically like, when you die, depending on how many people you converted to Christianity will be like what your class is in heaven, basically.
It feels real Mormon.
If you didn't convert anybody to Christianity, you're basically just an employee once you get to heaven. You got to keep working. But, if you converted enough people, maybe you're like a king or a manager, kind of thing. I was like, your idea of heaven is fucking insane.
Their idea of heaven is an MLM.
Yeah. Well, he was huge. Yeah, he was.
You get more praise by getting more people under.
Yeah. Well,
The
he
more
was,
people you convert, the better.
Yeah, he wasn't MLMs. God, I already forget. It was a huge one back then, though.
Cutco?
No, I did Cutco once. I did one cut or two Cutco things. It was my brother who told me like, "Oh no, don't do that." He actually told me to screw them over, and since I get paid $15 every like demonstration, just have a bunch of people sign that I demonstrated.
Well,
for
yeah,
them.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. But I was also like, God, dude, I can't do that. That just sounds skeezy to me, you know?
Yeah.
I'm a person that wants to earn my buck. I don't want to just. I mean, it'd be nice, but at the same time, I'm like, it's, you know, in the end, nothing comes for free. You know, a buck doesn't come for free.
Mm-hmm.
You earn it, you spend it, and it just goes around in this circle, hopefully.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, I've always tried to stay away from that stuff.
What, money?
Huh?
Money?
I don't try to stay away from money. Money tries to stay away from me.
Yeah.
No, just those, pyramid schemes.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. It just never looks believable.
Well, here's the thing. My thing is like I look at it and I go like, you know what, this would be a good opportunity, but then they like start trying to sell it to me, sort of thing. You know, they kind of like give me the sales pitch that I'm going to give to other people, and I'm just sitting here going like, this is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Why,
what if they
why
say
would
no,
anybody buy this,
Dude, I feel bad about putting sharing our show on my Facebook because that's all I use my Facebook for. Like I refuse to just message people individually or invite them exactly. It's if you see it, you see it. I don't want to be.
Yeah,
I don't want to be
not
just
self-promoters.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not,
hey, let's not get too far because we should actually talk about the fact that we should feel ashamed for advertising our show,
oh yeah.
and that just happened to get on the wrong person's fucking Facebook, and they got mad about it.
Oh my god. Like I get it. It wasn't our most put together ad. It was just something real simple.
It was one of those things where like it was the inside joke of trains, and I was like, I know a stranger won't get that, and he just got mad. And I was like, I know exactly why it got on his page because our the Hooligan Media label is basically like shown as a multimedia label.
Yeah.
And the guy was like a musician. So he's probably following labels and stuff, so it recommended it to him.
Mm-hmm.
And so that guy ended up posting probably like 40 pictures of a dog shitting.
Yep.
And they had a meme text of like, since you shit on my feed or something like that.
I'm a shit on yours.
Yeah.
That was funny.
That was like insane boomer fucking. He was definitely a Trumper too, so that's what made it funny. I was like, oh, he's one of the weirdos. Yeah, they like sat there, took the time to like post that like 40 times, and it's like, dude, you were sad.
Well,
Yeah,
imagine
we
we
hurt
just
you, dude. I mean, we did. We hurt you, but
Yeah.
like that bad?
Oh, and after a while of making fun of him, he started like changing his tone to be friendlier.
Yeah.
Like he thought it was like, he thought it was funny after I sent him the second meme about his jacket looking like fried foreskin or whatever.
I think I said something about his fucking hairline running from his eyebrows or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, he wanted something to. He wanted us to make his own little meme or whatever to say our post fucking sucks. Essentially, I was like, where do you want it? Do you want it on your forehead or something to hide the hairline or?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, guys. It sounds like our ads are working. Should I pay for some more advertising?
Well, I like how like one guy just commented trains backwards.
Yeah.
Right?
See, someone
That was
got it.
awesome. Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know if he listened, but
I don't care, man. I'm
He
just
just
like, do
posted
it, man.
trains.
Yeah.
Well, we definitely have one fan for sure that isn't like family. I don't know who they are. They comment on our stuff all the time. It's great.
Shout out to
they
that
still
one
comment?
fan. Woo!
Do they still comment?
Yeah, just the other day actually.
Oh, nice.
Why does it feel like we haven't recorded in forever? Also,
It's because we haven't.
Because we haven't. It's been like almost 2 weeks, I think.
oh, there we go. Yeah. James was supposed to do the intro today.
Yeah, that son of a gun.
Yeah, we'll give you a shout out here, Cooper 2560. Always
Cooper
commenting on our
2560. What's up?
stuff. We see you. And we did get a complaint a little bit.
Oh, what was it?
It's just more of like they don't want to like just watch a black screen. They want us on video, and we are working towards that.
Do you know how expensive cameras are?
Yes.
like even the cheapest model, which is like it would be a picture camera, like the one that you use to take pictures with. You put a SIM card in it, and it can record.
Beforehand, I did suggest this in the beginning of the podcast.
Well, I think that was like $330 alone.
Yeah, no, not the camera. I'm talking about. We could do like an image slideshow of different things. We just have to make the graphics or.
Well, yeah, that's just it. We'd have to make the slideshow,
and then like have that cycle through.
And just to say, it was meant to be constructive. They were saying they want to come back when we do have video. So I mean,
or we could just do. Play some Minecraft and then do the parkour course and just have that the whole podcast.
I wonder if Cooper's an artist.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, because he's our only fan right now. Or they, sorry, not he, they.
Hit us up, buddy.
I don't know who they are.
Saying they're our only fan is so sad.
He's our number one fan. They're our number one fan.
Like we had Gilbert for a while. He's just fucking Gilbert.
And by the way, I said that wasn't family. Nana's still listening, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah, Nana left like several comments on
okay,
all the videos.
I guess clarification. They're our number one fan. That's not family.
Yeah. We see you. We appreciate you.
Yeah. They're like, this is weird to hear. I'm done.
Right? We just lost Cooper.
I assumed my gender like 10 times.
I know, seriously. If they're pissed, I do apologize. I did not mean to assume.
If they sit through this show, I'm sure they're
fine. Yeah. Well, actually, we should. Let's just cut that. Put it at the front of this whole thing.
We're sorry.
Please, Cooper, stay.
Yeah.
We love you, Cooper.
Also, we should also make sure we outline. The hater was funny.
Oh yeah.
If there are haters, that was funny. That was
at least
awesome.
be funny.
Yeah. It was the unhinged part was just the repeated comment. I was like, dude, you were so mad.
Yeah.
Like that was,
That was like me when I got kicked out of a bar and I left a very bad review on their Yelp, and I had to get it. Basically, they reported it because I left a giant it was a picture of a giant shit on a yard somewhere, like really bad looking shit, and it was like a 3-paragraph review of how bad it was and how dirty it was and stuff like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
So speaking of Gilbert, when I went to Dallas, I feel like I've talked about this on a previous episode a long time ago. Maybe not though. When I was in Dallas, I went to a Mexican place, and I bought nachos, and it was like $10 or something like that, and I got like nine or 8 chips.
What?
On the plate, yeah. And Gilbert was so pissed off about that, and then
that's like a buck a chip.
He was like, you definitely, I was like, it's more than $1 for a chip because it was fucking $10.
I was being generous to them at that point.
And so, he's like, you're gonna ask the waitress about that, right? I'm like, yeah, definitely. And I was like, yo, is this serious? I'm like, is this all I'm supposed to get? And it was like, it's this Mexican lady, and she's like, yes. She said it just like that. And she's like, why? And I forgot. She's like, is there a problem or something like that? I forgot what she said after, but that pissed off Gilbert way more than it pissed me off. To where Gilbert wrote a Yelp review on his account, and then he was like, use your Google too and write an account because this is not okay. Like he was so pissed, and I thought it was funny. But I also, he's like, dude, you better not tip them. So it's like, I felt bad because I didn't tip them. Which I know, for a fact, that means they lost money on my order or whatever. Right. And the lady, someone even asked me about a tip when I'm leaving. I'm like, no, I'm not. I was like, I paid $10 for 9 chips. I'm not tipping. And it's like, yeah, it's management's fault, not their fault. But like, what the fuck,
Right?
dude? My whole experience of getting food in Dallas sucked though, because I have definitely talked about the barbecue in Dallas. Sucking.
Yeah, you said
and
that.
making fun of Aaron for liking watered down ketchup, basically, because that's what their sauce was at the barbecue place we got.
Dude, it had to have been better than the place here in town now.
Really?
I've tried
No, it
ordering
wasn't.
twice.
No.
This dude, they sent the meat in fucking plastic wrap.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
it sounds like you just got really shitty service there, because, yeah, the food there is decent. Well, at least like when I went there.
Yeah,
But
I'm sure it depends on
when
what
I
you get.
first, well, I've got the ribs,
Yeah.
a full rack at least twice. But when we first went there, it was like when they first opened or whatever, and they were like, yeah, they were like out of stuff, and you know, I actually like because it's cheaper. I like getting they have that little build your own barbecue bowl kind of thing. So I get like chicken and the mashed potatoes. Then you can get it topped with something, so probably get a little cheese or whatever, which is like way cheaper than just getting ribs, even though the ribs are good. But like, it's crazy when I have to say like Texas Roadhouse kills all these barbecue places that I went to all over the country.
Kills all the places in Texas.
Well, it's like, yeah, the Dallas place in Texas, or yeah, the Dallas places that we went sucked. And then the Kansas place was like, okay, it was about as good as the barbecue place here. And then like, this is North Dakota where the Texas Roadhouse is, though. I was like, we're at what? Like, this is so good. It was like so tender, and that's almost as good as like my dad's or my mom's husband Larry's ribs, you know, almost as good as that. It's like, yeah, when someone makes it, and it's like fall off the bone type shit. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's almost as good as homemade stuff. Still a good chunk away though. Versus like, yeah, here in town, it's fine. It's pretty tender when you get it right. Apparently, Alex didn't get good. Dude, actually,
I got the sampler plate, so
we
I should have
get
gotten a
shit-
good chunk of everything.
we get shit service here in town though.
Dude,
I can't name a place here in town that has good service. Las Renitas. That's it.
yeah.
I mean, I go to the VFW for breakfast, and that's pretty good. It's not terrible. I mean, you know, it's pretty much like serve yourself sort of thing, but it's still good. You know,
Yeah.
the service.
It's just hard when the two big jobs in town take away from like those other jobs.
Oh yeah, nah.
You know, just where you are in like a service type thing.
I think the person that trained me at the gas station works at the VFW actually.
Well, probably. It seems everybody in this town works at least 2 jobs.
Not me anymore.
All I know is I spent like $50 on a sampler plate, and it wasn't even enough between my dad and I. Like, and he doesn't eat that much, and I don't eat a whole lot now
Yeah.
either.
Well, see, I guess I'll have to go and try out their ribs, because the last time I went, I got like their Southwest sandwich.
Let's
or
go after
something
the
like that.
episode.
Man, I'm down to give him
A
another
third try.
shot, you know,
Hey,
I just
me and my fiance tried to go there last week. They weren't even open. There was no sign on the door or anything. I was like, what the fuck?
Weird.
But yeah, no, most places here in town are pretty bad. I'm not gonna just start naming places because you know.
Right.
I did name the one that I was like, their service is good. That was Las Renitas. But there's a place that I eat all the time here in town. And the food's mid. The service is mid. But like, hey, they have stuff that Jay could eat, so we just keep going back there.
Right.
I have gotten good service at the barbecue place though. That I call, by the way, I call that the Pig Pen, and also Piggy's Playhouse.
yeah.
I forget what the real name is all the time because I'm like the real name's bad. My name's better.
I will say they have pretty good barbecue sauce over there. I do like their barbecue sauce.
It's not watered down ketchup,
no.
but it's also like, well, no, it's just enough. It's just enough like runny to it.
Yeah.
Cause like you need to get it out of the fucking bottle too.
Yeah. I think the big issue is like it's in the exact same spot as the last place, and the last place was I thought was really good.
Yeah.
I really liked
pretty
Fozzie's.
good. Yeah, when I was doing the con circuit with Aaron and Gilbert, every time we went to a barbecue place, because I was like, oh, what's the special food around here? Except for Florida, it was always barbecue. So we went to a barbecue place, and I'm like, no, Fozzie's is better.
Yeah.
Like that's basically what. And yeah, I'm not afraid to give Fozzie's a shout out for being good. So
No, fuck yeah.
you know, they're better than most of the places. I think the place like I went to 2 places in Kansas. No, not Kansas, Missouri, and it was about as good. You know, because this is only barbecue. Basically, like if you're a restaurant or whatever, there's only so much you could do with barbecue to make it good.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, hey, you seasoned it, you cooked it, good job. It's not like hard or
Charcoaly.
I guess gamey is the way to. When it's like too on the bone.
Yeah.
That didn't happen a lot.
See, yeah, that's it for me. It's like usually a barbecue place for me. Do they have smoked meat or do they just have like over the grill meat? That's kind of my separator of how good meat would be, because barbecue sauces are just basically corn syrup and herbs.
Molasses.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, some of them will use ketchup. Some of them will use tomato paste. But
I mean, I guess ketchup would be good, but I feel like there's too much preservatives in that.
no, I don't.
Really be good.
I can usually tell when they use ketchup, and it grosses. Like my brain goes, nope. Like when I'm having it, like I can't have McDonald's barbecue sauce.
Oh, is that really heavily based?
Yep.
I was wondered why I never really liked that barbecue. Like,
well,
like
like
their
ketchup,
barbecue turned
then...
me off of barbecue, if that makes
really?
sense. I was just kind of like, barbecue sauce just doesn't hit as it used to. So, like, I kind of like avoided barbecue sauces in general. Like, just kind of like.
Well, I think it's one of those things. Is like we continue to have high expectations for McDonald's when it's like, no, it's a serviceable fucking fast food barbecue sauce.
I have not been there in years.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've not been there in years.
I think the last
Good
time.
for you.
Yeah, I think it's almost been a year since I've last ordered.
Well,
from
no,
there.
because I still go to fucking like Dairy Queen.
Oh god, I end up having to fucking order from McDonald's all the time because my dad.
You don't fuck with Dairy Queen?
Just Dairy Queen's a little more expensive.
He ain't cooking?
And
It
I
is,
gotta.
but that's because they
do
throw
2
fucking
people.
toast with everything you order.
Yeah. It's just, it's just a little too much because I gotta pay for 2 people. You
Yeah,
know what
so
I mean?
it's like $20.
Yeah, a lot of the time I don't really want it.
Yeah.
It's just I'm hungry. He needs to eat. I need to eat.
It'd be like that.
Yeah. But I really do like Moe's. I'm gonna probably order from them again sometime soon.
Their service is always bad.
Yeah, their service
That's why I
is
don't go
so,
in. I
but
just have
they
it
are.
delivered.
They do
Yeah.
have decent drinks.
But I wanted to go give them another chance to try more of their wings. But
Oh, totally.
yeah. Also, yeah, Jade does have a like actual beef with them because she used to work when it was the coffee place.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, they're big nepo baby or not nepo baby, big nepotism type shit.
Mm.
Where like she was working with the owner's daughter, and the dad went in there, and like they were gonna go to the river or whatever. So he pulls her out and basically was like leaving the place understaffed.
Oh my gosh!
And it's like, you fucking idiot.
Oh man.
So yeah, if the Moe's staff hears this or the Moe's owners hear this, I'm standing by what I'm saying. Do better. And also, when we went to Moe's, the service was so bad to where like the owner's wife and daughter were there, and there was like one guy who was like a cook who was also like the waiter and also giving us refills because we kept having to ask him because no one else was doing their fucking job. So
Jeez.
like yeah, when there's that many people there that like are making money off the place, like make a point to make the fucking service good. Like,
Yeah, and that's why you tip that person who's working their ass off. And yeah, I don't know. Tipping.
Tip that person who's working their ass off. They have to split it with the rest. They have to split it with the shit. Oh, and also our server was the daughter, but it was the guy who was giving us the service because like he kept walking by and he'd be like, "Hey, can we get this? Thanks."
Just tip that guy.
Slip him a
Tip the
20.
person helping you.
Yeah.
There's the place down the road here, over in just one town over. What's it called?
Oh, different town. Okay.
Uh,
Red Lake
no, not
Falls.
Not Red Lake Falls. It was starts with an H, and it's literally just like 20 minutes.
Saint Hilaire.
Yeah, Saint Hilaire.
Oh, yeah, that bar.
Yeah, that bar is pretty good.
See, that's like what all our Alex has complained about this too. Where like most of the Minnesota food is like, hey, you're going to a bar and they have a fucking fryer.
Right? Right?
It's just burgers.
I will
just
say go there
burgers.
for breakfast.
Burgers and no,
Their
the
shit's
one
good.
thing they really love doing here in Minnesota is they're like, hey, there's burgers and we also make fried chicken.
Yeah.
Want some chicken drummies.
Yeah. I'm sitting here going like, man, dude, can't we get like a real meal?
Like, hey, cool, chicken drummies are awesome. Why don't you buy some sauces to fucking
Right? Not just ranch, ketchup, or mustard.
Yeah.
Let's get an Italian restaurant in town.
Right? Oh, God, I'd kill for one
They
right
would
now.
fuck that up so bad.
Dude.
I
I mean, everyone likes pasta, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
No, I'm saying the like whoever fucking like
opens it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If based on the people who do food around here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we got some straight like, Italian people here for some reason.
Hey, any Italian fans, if you want a place, check out Thief River Falls. It's pretty awesome.
I mean, I would also
yeah,
trust
cheap housing.
any Hispanic people to make any food.
Yeah.
If they're like, hey, we're opening up a Chinese place, I'd be like, all right, I already know you're going to do some good shit here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Chinese place here, I think, is okay.
You mean the buffet?
Yeah.
Yeah, because apparently they closed the other place.
Yeah, I heard about that too. That's disappointing, but at the same time, for the pricing, I was just like, I'm surprised they were open this long.
You know, the place that closed, they never gave me what I ordered. I'd always be like, all right, I want some chicken chow mein, and then I'd get like Buddha's Delight or something similar. It's like, there's not a noodle in this fucking thing.
Is that something you ordered on DoorDash, or like you went in there?
My dad had to go in there. I mean, well, he called and then he'd go in.
That's
Buddha's
freaking
Delight.
stupid.
Yep. I mean, it was good.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but it's not what I ordered.
Dude, I love the idea of like a stingy, or not stingy, pretty much like a pushy Asian lady. Like, no chicken chow mein for you. You get Buddha's Delight, much better.
Better for your heart.
Also, I had to fight really hard not to do a fucking Asian accent.
Dude, it reminded me of a story. So, I was working security at this like cancer research place, and one of my partners was this dude who'd only been in America like 4 or 5 months, and he was from China. He was nice. It was cool. There was kind of a language barrier, so we didn't talk a whole lot. But one night, I'm sitting there just doing my thing, and he leans over and he's like, "How tall are you?" So I tell him, and he asked how old I was. And then he asked for my weight, and then I was like, okay, what? Motherfucker was looking up my BMI.
Yeah.
He told me, too fat.
Too fat?
Something along those lines, man. But I was just like...
He didn't want to be rude. He wanted to be backed up by medical science.
Yeah. Too fat. Thanks, man. I know.
Dude. Well, that and...
He's just concerned for your health, man.
I don't...
Dude, that's how foreigners are, though.
Well, I don't know how to phrase this either, because I don't want to be like, hey, like, perpetuating stereotypes, but this dude straight up asked me if I had dogs at one point. I was like, yeah, I love dogs. And he's like, do you ever eat them? I was like, mm-mm.
No,
he's like,
then
why
I won't
not? It's
have them
wasteful.
anymore.
I was like, wait, but that's my friend.
What?
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
Yeah, I'm trying to be respectful and, you know. But at
Well,
the same time, it's like,
you said he's from China.
Yeah.
For a fact they do that in China. Unlike
they did. I think they stopped that recently.
the dog festival.
Yeah, I think they stopped that.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
If they stopped it, then they stopped just talking about it.
Yeah, I'm having flashbacks when I first found out about that. I was like, oof.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew about that for a long time that they ate dogs because of racism.
Yeah.
But hey,
And that's why I'm trying to tiptoe
hey,
around this. In the
oh,
same
it's
way.
like, hey, they actually did it though.
Yeah.
Not like hate the Haitians eating dogs thing, where like that was made up.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, sorry, you see black people who like, they fucking butcher chickens and shit. Because like Haitians will do that kind of stuff.
It's
Which
their
is
chicken.
normal.
Yeah.
Which is normal. And
Like if butchering can only happen behind closed doors. They can't have butchering out in public, apparently. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a part of food processing, period. And just because your neighbor only buys it from the grocery store and never actually seen a chicken get its head cut off and then its feathers plucked the fuck out. Like,
well, I can tell you, it's a little jarring if it's the first thing you see when you wake up.
yeah.
Like,
Alex was renting from this Mexican family, and we heard a goat like in the middle of like the early morning. We're like, oh, they got a goat. And then, like, we fell asleep and woke up a couple hours later. It was strung up and headless.
yeah, well,
Oh,
first
jeez.
off, I didn't notice looking out my window. I went straight to the bathroom because I'm groggy. I just woke up. And I'm peeing, and there's a window just next to the toilet so you can look into the backyard. And I'm peeing, and I look out the window, and this dude's just trying to cutting this fucking goat's head off. And I didn't process it the first time. I look, I go back to my thing, and then I kind of double take, and I'm like, what the fuck?
And those people were cool as fuck. They're like, you
They
guys
were.
want some of this goat? And we're like, no.
oh, dude, you should have. That shit's good.
Oh,
Like-
yeah.
We're like, no, we're scarred. We're actually scarred from that. No. But, yeah, we didn't get enough into the whole Haitian thing.
Yeah.
The thing that pisses me off, and I saw more Ramona people. In fact, someone a lot closer to us, because it's or a friend of ours' sister, who was like, if you guys don't believe the Haitian thing, like, people in Ohio actually saw that. First of all, the pictures people were sharing were AI generated, so fake. Second
Okay,
of all,
I'll take it out. Who are you talking about?
Dakota's sister.
Oh, well, she's
Shout out to Abby if Abby listens. I love you, but you're very wrong about the
Abby,
The
if
Haitian
you listen
thing.
to this, you're wrong.
Yeah, you're very wrong. JD Vance even accidentally came out and said he created
Yeah,
the
he
story.
even said, I made it up because that's what I have to do to get you to pay attention to
Yep.
us.
Yep.
He said the quiet part out loud. We need to make shit up so you will pay attention to us.
So, pretty much, there were people who did say that Haitian immigrants, their Haitian neighbors, stole their cat, I think. They ended up finding their cat in the basement, and then their daughter made them apologize to their Haitian neighbors. But guess what? The news didn't cover that part. They only covered the part where they're like, my cat's missing, and our neighbors fucking ate it. They didn't cover the part where, like, oh, it turns out the cat was in the basement.
Yep.
And she had to apologize for being a fucking racist to her neighbors who were probably like, fuck you. Like, this whole state probably wants to kill us because of you.
Yeah.
I had to go at work, since I worked with a bunch of Nicaraguans and Hondurans. I literally was telling them on Google Translate, like, be careful because, like, racism and, like, immigration fear is going to get worse as time gets closer to election season. Which they were already doing there because over the dumbest shit. They were saying, like, people were making a mess with coffee creamer and sugar, and they were blaming the immigrants. It was like, oh, they fucking make a mess of it, blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, they all get coffee and stuff. You don't know that they're the ones spilling. You don't see the person who's spilling. A lot of people get coffee,
Yeah.
And they're like,
The
well,
fuck?
they should just clean up their mess. Like, I don't see.
Well, yeah,
I've
like
never
you
seen
should.
clean
wipe
up
shit
your fucking mess.
Yeah, I've never seen you wipe anything up. Shut the fuck up, And I literally bought sugar and creamer after they took it away from them and had it in my bag at work. And I was like, if you guys want, send the bag. I didn't even drink coffee. I literally was just like, if you guys want it, because
Good on them.
they get paid. They got paid less than I did by like $5. They worked way harder than me.
Insane.
Yeah, I feel so bad because like I quit the job and I was like, I know they're gonna miss me, and like, I didn't get to say goodbye to them because like I was gonna do my 2 weeks, but then on the last day I went there, I was like feeling like shit. And I'm like, nah, and they also changed my job, so it was like so many things at once. I'm like, nah, I'm going home. Nope, I'm done with this job. So yeah, shout out to the Nicaraguans and the Honduran dude. I hope you guys get to stay here because like they were literally talking about like once November comes we're gone because Trump's gonna get elected, and I was like, well, let's hope not. Like let's hope he doesn't get elected. I don't know if I can trust polls or not. So like I don't know who's gonna win.
Oh yeah, no.
I've been wrong 2 elections in a row about who's gonna win. So
yeah, here's the thing. Like I have hope, because like there's like just the last debate alone, like get the two in a room, Kamala's always going to come out on top. Period.
yeah,
But and so I got some hope on that front, but also that's how
she still needs to do better.
2016, man. Like I'm having flashbacks, dude. Like,
Yeah. Well, there's a difference. Okay, so like I don't like Kamala Harris, but I really didn't like Hillary, and Hillary actually had like major skeletons in her closet. Like Harris has some skeletons, but it's like, sorry, normies aren't gonna care that she put a lot of people away.
Well, yeah, no, and here's the thing. I do kind of care about her positions on that, and here, like what I want most is like just. I would like somebody to actually be with me in holding these people accountable. You know what I mean? Only reason I'm voting for Harris is because we're down to two parties. You know what I mean? Like if there was a third option, there just might be a chance I'd vote for them because of A, B, or C reason.
Real third option.
Yeah, real third fucking option. But like.
But there's the tribalism so high, it's
yeah.
not gonna matter anyways. There's only two parties.
Yeah, and so like don't get me wrong. I there's a lot of her positions that I'm sitting here going like, yeah, cool. Let's do this. Let's make things great.
But at the same
Let's
time,
make things great again.
She's been very vague about a lot of stuff.
She has,
and then she's also said stuff that like is a big red flag. Like we're gonna have the most powerful military.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, whoa, what are you saying?
Like, wait, you mean we don't already have it? Like, what are you talking about? Like, and chill.
It's like the Democrats don't realize that like there are more progressive people that want to support you, but you guys are saying all the wrong things.
Yeah. And
like with the whole Israel thing, and the Israel-Palestine thing, no, there's so many people that are not going to vote for Harris or Trump because they hate Trump and because Harris didn't say anything about Palestine, or at least like in her election, she did say that she was like willing to soften, blah blah blah, and that was. I think before she was the one running, being
nominated.
Yeah, and it's like she's aiming for the big. It's like they're trying to convince conservatives to support.
That's exactly what it is at this point in time. It's they're literally reaching to the Republicans that are looking at Trump and going, oh fuck, what are we doing?
And it's like you will never appeal to them.
Like, apparently it's working. Apparently there's some big name Republicans.
To liberals, like actual liberals, yes.
Yeah.
She get to because actual liberals can skew Republican, but I mean like the moderates and stuff, sure. But like when you actually look at people that there's so many progressive people, and it's like you have a whole generation like Gen Z definitely doesn't want you. Like,
yeah.
They definitely don't want Harris. I think a lot of Gen Z do like Walz.
And I kind of feel like that's what a lot of people are kind of voting on is like the VP pick at this point. Like we already knew there was going to be two candidates up for presidency that were going to both be like, we don't trust you. But now we're looking at the VPs and going, my God, J.D. Vance looks like the creeper that would peep outside my window. And Tim Walz looks like the guy that would come up to my door as I moved in going like, hey, neighbor with a fucking hot dish. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna talk about what Walls looks like. It's not like he's pretty, but
No,
JD Vance looks like
he's an old man.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not like he's pretty or anything, but like JD Vance is a fucking weird looking dude.
He's a
weird
fucking
sounding
creep.
dude. Every time he's in an interview, he's got he's got the opposite of Riz.
How'd he get through the military is my question. Like, he's got zero, like, I mean, I guess he was perfect for frontline, I guess. I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, that's the thing too. Is like, you know, maybe he I forget what they call that phenomenon when like someone was pretty much like got promoted well beyond their station and ability. Because like, how did he end up in politics and government?
Well, yeah, nepotism.
Dude should have been, you know, he should be managing a fucking mattress firm, you know? Like,
yeah,
that's his station.
that's what he should be doing. He should be managing a storefront, dude. He
Yeah.
shouldn't be fucking, like, trying to run for politician, man. Holy shit.
Like,
well, and same with DeSantis, man. Like that guy looks like he should be a used car salesman, not a fucking governor of a state.
DeSantis, who? Like, who? We don't know this guy anymore. Like, he's fucking old news.
Yeah.
Fucking, yeah.
Oh, Ted Cruz too, man. No, that guy.
Well, Ted
he
Cruz
should be the
has
My
some
Pillow
staying
heir.
ability. Yeah. Ted Cruz has some staying ability because memes, and he's been around for a while. But like DeSantis and JD Vance are people I just started hearing about in the last year.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, of course, like everyone knew DeSantis was gonna get crushed once Trump actually like got back to it.
Yeah, I don't think DeSantis actually was running to try and win. I think he was just trying to. Honestly, I feel like the entire Republican Party is just trying to put on fronts at this point in time because that's all they have.
No, I think I think he really was trying to go for the Republicans that didn't want Trump.
Oh, that's
And
true because that was kind of when the dissent was going down.
Yeah, I think they were like, you know, they've now done their version of the blue no matter who, where they're like, well, if it's not Trump, then who's gonna?
Oh, right.
You know,
Okay.
There's no way that we're gonna beat them. You know, even though they don't talk like that, it's
Right.
always like, we need Trump because he's gonna beat them. And yeah, I even had some customers say that to me today. This old ass fucking, well, definitely a boomer. And he gets out like I was just like, yeah. Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh, okay, no politics, huh? That's what he said to me. I was like, oh, I guess I wasn't putting on a mask enough for him. And he's just like, yep, Trump's gonna fix everything. I'm like, yeah, totally. And like, there's people behind him and laughing because I was just like, oh, dude.
God, Jeebus, man. Like, I just wish more people. I mean, I guess I didn't realize this until like my 30s, but it's not going to be one person that's going to get us out of this like bullshit that we're in. It's going to be a continual fight against people that want to go back to having kings and knights and glorifying the days of the, you know, old west and having cowboys and bad guys and bandits and shit like that.
Well, it's funny because they don't even want that either. Because like if they have to go to a structure where power is, you know, what dictates leadership, you know, they can't stand. You know, that's it's the grift they put out there to appeal to a base of people that think that way. But then, you know, as soon as people they find out these people are strong and, you know, other people are getting violent, and they're like, oh, actually, I can't be king because, you know, I can't swing a sword type shit. Then they're like, oh, look at these savages.
Yep.
These thugs, you know, it's the same shit.
And
but,
yeah, so I guess kind of rounding back to what I wanted to get at, it was just I wish the opposition would help me hold whoever wins accountable. You know what I mean? Like when I go up to somebody and say, no, Trump did a shit job with the COVID pandemic, I wish it would be like, yes, he did this wrong and this wrong and this wrong because, you know, it's
they're like, no.
There's shit that happened there that he totally could have fucking helped with.
No, COVID's a lie, and he was
doing everything right. Exactly. And so like So then, like, when Kamala gets into office, like, I hope that they would be able to stand behind me and still hold this fervor against her when it comes to, like, fucking, like, the Middle East. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm of the position that we shouldn't be over there, man. And I'm not saying that, like, we need to abandon our allies and shit like that, but I'm saying one of our allies is going after his neighbors, and we need to either yank on that leash or, like, put a muzzle on him. Like,
It's not like we don't just leave our allies anyways.
Well, I mean, the problem too is like, if Kamala wins, there's a chance that we're going to help.
well, yeah, no. Here's the thing. I don't. Whoever
Fighting-
wins in this election, I feel like the thing's gonna just escalate over there.
Yeah.
But when it does, I wish the opposition, the people who were like going after Kamala for whatever fucking reason, would stand behind me and saying, like, hey, you know what? This is a wrong situation for this reason. We're losing way too many lives of innocent people, and right now it is just, it's not a war going on over there. It's literally just our, ally going off and beating his neighbors for no fucking reason.
Yeah, like Lebanon and shit. But no, Iran is a potential war, and let me tell you, if that happens and Kamala wins, then they're going to be anti-war. What are we doing over there? Blah blah blah. We should be taking care of things over here. If Trump wins, Iran did something wrong.
Yeah.
Trump's just handling business.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's what pisses me off the most is they're fucking wishy-washy.
They don't mean what they say. And don't get me wrong too, because like I get annoyed of many, not just liberals as in like the literal liberals, the middle people, but like SJW people will do the same thing. Not with the Middle East though. We very much agree on the Middle East, but like it's the same thing if you were to say like police violence is wrong. But it was funny when when like an insurrectionist got like killed. And I'm like, no, that was not cool.
No, exactly. Like, here's the thing. Like, that entire situation was such a shit show for our country, no matter whose side you were fucking on. Whether you were on the side of the insurrectionists going, we need to recreate our whole fucking country and we're going to take over the house to do it.
Yeah.
Or if you were on the side of, great, the police are beating the shit out of people that are, like, against me.
That's what pissed me off. I was like, dude, you guys should agree on this moment.
Yes.
Of, like, the police, like, sure, the police were a lot lighter on...
No, are you kidding?
When
I didn't see batons going into heads, I was like, what the fuck is going on? What
Like,
the fuck?
But, like, when they actually killed a woman and stuff...
Yeah.
These people that were, like... George Floyd, and of course, I'm not saying George Floyd and Ashley Babbitt are at all on the same level, but like this is someone who was killed by the police,
right?
Who should not have been killed by the police, and both sides were celebrating the other person getting killed. Like, when people were like, "Oh, George Floyd, oh, he was a horrible person" or whatever. Like that's what conservatives were saying. Like they're going out of their way to be like, he was a criminal and he put a gun to a pregnant woman's stomach. All this dumb shit where it's like, yeah, but he didn't deserve to die. Same thing with Ashley Babbitt, unless like unless I find out like she pulled a gun or something.
Yeah,
because like there's always more details to like
exactly. When it was one cracked window. All they had to do was literally punch the people coming through that window. Yep. You know what I mean? Like, as far as use of force goes, like, my God.
Dude, some of these people who said, like, you shouldn't be shooting people with rubber bullets and stuff, to see them be like, well, they were storming the White House. What do you expect them to do? I was like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. And what drives me the most insane is this, like, I'm sitting here going, like, where's this thuggish action that we see at all of our protests against college students, against citizens in the streets that are protesting, against random people on the streets for no fucking reason? Where's that thuggishness that day?
Yep. You
know where it was? In those crowds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
the violent police were
like
in the
serious, yeah.
Yes.
That's
the theory of why like police were like moving barricades for people and stuff because their coworkers were protesting and stuff. But I actually remember during the George Floyd protest summer, I remember they actually protested at the White House, and not a single person, not a single Black Lives Matter protester actually like tried to damage the White House or anything. And I remember seeing this meme where like, you know, everything was shut down at the White House, and then they like showed it on an infrared thing, like they have a bunch of sniper rifle lasers, like, oh no, see, that's why they didn't do anything, they would have been killed. And then you know, after that summer, the January 6th happens. It's like, no, the fuck, they didn't have any sniper rifle. Like, they didn't have anything fucking locked down. Those people stormed that shit, and like, that was crazy. It's one of those things.
No,
where
it was one of those things. Watching it live, I was just like,
yes.
"Oh shit, is this really happening?"
It's just like when you find out Russia's not as tough as they seemed. When like Ukraine's fighting them off and stuff, you're like, "What the fuck is the like every like." You know, because we're like so afraid of like fighting the government, and then we're so afraid of like Russia's military and stuff. It's like, why is everything not as brutal as we've been told our whole lives?
Right.
You know, the only thing I'm
like,
really
you can basically just run in there with a bunch of people.
Yeah. Like, oh, apparently
do not
you can
do
fight
that.
Russia off with like some just by being a badass Slav. You know.
Like, okay, so actually that reminds me. You remember when everybody was talking about like raiding Area 51 and stuff, and it became like a Facebook meme with like 10 million people signing up and shit like that, and it just ended up being like a bunch of people doing parties and shit in the desert, you know, because like they were like, yeah, we're not gonna
close enough to like the entrance thing where like they were like still. There was like a gate for it. Or
yeah, no, they were like on the outside perimeters where like it's legal to be there.
Yeah.
Or if you go past that gate and they catch you, you're going to get some fines and some jail
like,
time.
You would have been killed, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, apparently not. If you got the right psychos to fucking do it, like...
Or just enough people to run fast enough. Like,
Just get the QAnon people to do it.
Well, no, that's the funny thing is there's the QAnon people, I'm quite sure. Shit, man,
the QAnon shaman.
QAnon hit way too late. They should have... They
should have the wrong.
Oh
thing,
no,
bud.
the Area 51 raid started too early. There it is. Because QAnon should have happened first, and then the Area 51 raid. Because then everybody's already like fucking jammed up and stuff. It's like, oh shit, yeah, we're gonna get some real fucking answers. Dude. Oh, that would have been fun to have watched.
You know, I know we're like going a little over the line, from what we normally get to.
Yeah.
But I do have one more point that I want to
complain go for
about.
it.
Go for it.
So. Because you mentioned QAnon. So one thing that pisses me off about what conspiracy theorists are doing is that they're trying to say like a bunch of things were confirmed true, and one of the big ones is like aliens, because like the government admitted there was aliens. Have you guys actually looked at this stuff?
That's just it. I haven't. So like I'm just sitting here kind of going like, cool.
They didn't confirm shit.
Well, and the thing
all
too
they
is
did was confirm that there are sightings.
There's people that are like there's like court things happening where they're like. Basically, it was people in the military saying, please take these, please investigate these UFOs we're seeing, because we don't know what the fuck this is. That was like the UFO sighting thing.
Yep.
And then the alien stuff is literally like, you told me to look into this. I looked into this. This is what I found. And it's like nothing real, nothing substantial.
Yeah, no.
Nothing discovered.
I mean, if...
like that fucking desiccated looking alien thing in Mexico, we don't know that that's real at all. We don't know anything about it, but like people just bought that shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
And it looks funny as hell. That fucking little crusty alien. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, so annoying. I remember, because I was excited about that, I read a whole government file on astral projection, and literally it was basically like, you told me to look into this. I talked to hippies, and they told me this is how they do it.
We've attempted it.
Yeah. Nothing substantial.
Well, yeah. Well, that's what I love about a lot of like the secretive shit that like the CIA was doing way back when, like with like the psychic and the telepathy and everything. Mm-hmm. It's just like we tried it, we didn't get anything really good. We had this one really weird case, but that was it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sorry, we can't.
We can't substantiate whether there is telekinesis or another realm, or if there are aliens.
Yeah. But like, it's one of those. It pisses me off because people will try to use that as a point.
Or
like,
well, yeah, people will try to use the MK Ultra like as like this like grab bag of like, yeah, see, this is why you can't trust the government because
all this stuff was real. It's like,
and it's like, yeah, there was one point in time when they did that, and they probably did it to their enemies. You know what I mean? Like, here's the thing. Like, I'm not gonna put it past. Like, yes, the government has done really shitty things, but they did those really shitty things to their quote unquote enemies. You know?
they did it to dissidents too. Like, when there was like the American Communist Party and shit like that. Yeah, they did weird shit to them. Oh God, his name is Oompaville. He's a YouTuber. He does so many videos, but he does a lot on the CIA randomly. Which, like, if you watch his other videos, you'd be like, why the fuck is he doing anything about the CIA? You watch those for all the actual declassified CIA things that were basically like, hey, they're gonna do a socialism. Let's find a way to fuck that up.
Right. And that's one thing people need to remember is that the CIA was not really set up to get information. It was just set up to fucking sabotage people without sending in an army of people to do it.
Yeah.
You know, it was basically to be like, how do we take care of a situation with as little resources as possible? Send in 5 agents to go spread rumors. They'll disassemble themselves within a month. Well, and if that doesn't work, we'll go for the leaders then and start, blackmailing them. And, it's like, there is a handbook for it,
thing,
Yeah.
Where they talk about how, like, Osama bin Laden was he worked for the CIA. Well, technically, the CIA propped up Osama bin Laden, and that's why Al Qaeda became a thing, and that's why the Taliban became a thing because they were propped up by the CIA to be like, yeah, we don't want socialism in Iraq, Iran, any there.
Exactly.
So here's your religious fundamentalist group. Go ahead and take over. And then 9/11 happens, and they're like, oh, we couldn't
have seen this coming.
Who would have thought this was gonna happen?
And that's the most insane part is like apparently there was information on that shit actually happening, but everybody was having a whose dick's bigger contest and didn't want to work with the other people. So
yeah, jurisdiction.
Yeah, because like from what I understand, it was like I think it was like the FBI was like looking into like these suspicious like transactions and stuff happening, like basically looking at the data of it, and then there was the CIA actually following these people, going like, they're coming from here to here for what reason again? Like they were on the ground like watching these people, and there was no communication between the two to make that correlation of like, oh, this big shit's gonna happen.
Yes. So, Alex, would you like to say anything before we close off the episode?
Just that there are some things to come, things I'm working on, things I really need to start working on.
Yep.
But yeah, just progress. I think we're getting there, people. So if you're listening, we appreciate you. That's right, Coop. We know you're there.
Yeah, if you're there, I don't have as much faith as Alex does. If you're there, Coop, say hi. But is there? Can you actually say anything on what you're working on, or?
It's just little tweaks to the show, little things I can add, like. I think it'd be kind of hilarious whenever one of us has like a yelling rant to just like put music like layered under it.
There's a lot of like copyright-free music that we could use depending on the program. Mm-hmm. Well, some of it's built in, some of it's not, but yeah. So that was it. Progress is to come.
Yeah, just little tweaks here and there to make it a little more fun, a little better.
Okay, well then let's close off the episode by being like, Alex, what have you been up to? Anything interesting?
Oh man, been kind of. I started a new job working where Chuck used to. I get paid a little more, so that's very helpful. And that'll likely help us get cameras a little sooner rather than later.
You said cameras?
Yeah, cameras for the show.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was...
And I've been watching a lot of TV lately. The only problem is all my shows are getting canceled.
For those of you guys who don't know...
Oh,
yeah, just to interrupt him real quick. Alex is a big TV guy. He's a big TV fan.
Mm-hmm. And it sucks because like all my really good shows have been canceled in like the last year, especially recently. But Netflix has been buying them, and now they're moving platforms. So I'm just hoping my stuff starts getting picked up. because I like Heels is a big one. That's a wrestling show, totally fictional. But they left off on season 2 with this really huge cliffhanger, and I've been spiraling ever since. And it's like, come on, I need a little more. Yeah, it's like 4 or 5 shows that I'm hoping are going to be picked up by Netflix, but definitely. But
All right,
something.
so that's. He's been watching TV, and his shows have been getting canceled. And
What
he's
about
been
you,
working.
Chuck?
Yeah, I've been working. Oh yeah, the whole Warhammer thing. I started with my help me, save me from my Warhammer kick.
Are you still doing the Twitch streams?
No, because my PC. I didn't even.
Is it still nickering? I
Yep.
thought you were.
Let's be careful with how you say that word.
I did. That was.
Can you say that one more time and real slow?
No, we know what he said. I was just, I'm kidding.
Just bleep it out just in case.
I think I'd rather just cut it out than just bleep it. That leaves a lot more to
No,
interpretation.
you enunciated it good enough. I was just making a joke.
Yeah.
If I had a bleep, all you're gonna hear is.
Right? Oh, true. Oh, God.
No.
It's still on. It's still on the fritz. There we go.
Last time I tried turning it on, I couldn't even get it to work with the screen. And that was a while ago where I was like, okay, I just gotta save up the money and go to the PC repair place. And then apparently I was like, fuck that, I'm gonna get a bunch of Warhammer stuff. So, yeah, I gotta bring it to that PC repair place eventually.
Okay.
Hopefully they can get that going. Gosh, technology and me is not doing
Well, I was just gonna say, if you want, before we go to the store, if you want to, I mean, at this point in time, I'd say if you could bring it over, we'll just disassemble and reassemble it, start it up again, and see if the problem happens still. Because
we could do that.
At this
That'd
point
be
in time,
awesome if it just worked.
well, yeah, because that's the only thing I could think of right now is that there's something internally that's just not plugged in right, or something like that. You know.
And then, doing that, and then it's like, okay, well, what if it's like power capability or something? Because that's apparently an issue.
And that's just it, though. Like, I feel like if it was a power thing, you would have a lot more issues than just your screen going out. You know, I feel like your keyboard would stop working at some point.
My mouse
sometimes,
flashes
you know?
every now and then. That's the only thing that makes me think it
Okay.
might be that. But it's only my mouse. Everything,
Yeah.
like, the speakers still work. I plugged in, like, my Nintendo Switch to, like, do the capture card thing.
Yeah.
And that was working. But, yeah, we'll have to do that
Take a
sometime.
look.
Yeah. Doug.
For me,
Was it the trip or is there
yeah,
something
pretty
else going
much.
on?
There was just that trip that happened and everything, so that was a shit ton of fun. Like I said, a lot of sightseeing and stuff. Did I tell you guys about the train?
No.
What?
Oh, dude!
That's a good
You
question.
waited until an
Dude.
hour and 27 minutes.
Hey, this is a long one today, so let's
Enjoy,
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it was so cool. We did a train trip down the coast, just from one ocean town to the next ocean town. But we were attached to a steam engine, dude. It was
that's
so
rad.
cool. And we were like 2 cars back, so we still had a cover. So it rained a little bit and everything, but we were fine. Got to hear like the on that motherfucker, dude. It was so cool. Oh, but yeah, so it was nice. We took that train ride. It was like I said, it was right on the beach. So we went by like some really beautiful scenes. It was the sun was just setting and everything. Drove through like these little like creek areas and like little lagoon areas too.
the lagoon.
Yeah, so that was fun.
Nice.
Alex is phenomenal. I mean, you're a cool guy and all, but I mean Alexandra.
I'm no longer Alex number 1.
Is it Alexandra or Alexandria?
I thought it was Alexandra.
I don't know. That's why I'm
Oh
asking.
shit!
Uh-oh.
Dude,
Oh
if
no,
you got-
I'm gonna get my ass chewed out
Let's
now.
hope she doesn't listen to this one.
Oh no! I don't have her name right here.
Well,
Shit.
yeah, her name is just Alex on Facebook.
Yeah, it
too.
is just Alex.
So
Shit.
that's why I was like, well, because I figure most girls usually go by Alexandria or like Alexis or
Yeah.
something, you know. So I'm like Alexandra. That's a.
Well,
I don't know why I get a more Spaniard vibe from
Well,
that.
yeah.
Alexandra.
Alexandria, like, I don't really remember why I said it that way, but anyways, yeah, it was fun. She's amazing.
I mean,
Love you, babe.
seeing some of the pictures from out there, they were gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
Like, very wooded, beautiful.
green.
And no, anytime we were driving, that's all it was. So that was the other cool thing is I got to sleep a lot because I was the passenger. So gotta fall asleep all the time in the car. It was so nice.
Mm-hmm.
I was also just very tired. I think there's an issue with airplanes and stuff, but that's for another day. So
There's an issue with airplanes. I wonder what it could be. The whole thing?
yeah.
There's a lot.
Airplanes shouldn't be flying. Join me for my next conspiracy show.
Yeah.
They're really just birds. We've been told that they're man-made, but really they just exist in nature.
I know I said this 10 minutes ago, but before we close off, let's also give James a shout out for his most recent accomplishment with that little paper.
Yeah, James, what have you been up to? Oh, that's cool, man.
But what was that? Like a nomination? He was like officially nominated for.
Yeah, nominated by the DFL, right?
Oh yeah, so that way he's actually on the ballot. Like it's like the official, like, hey, yo, we gonna back you up. We put you on the ballot, yo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Shout out to the DFL for having the word labor in there.
Right.
In the DFL.
And I hope they continue to represent it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And so again, if you're Minnesotan, please go support our boy James Seville for House 1A. If you guys drive, I think Bemidji? I don't know where his billboard is. He's got a billboard up. That's another accomplishment.
Oh, yeah, he's got 2 of them up just outside of town.
Yep. So, that's what I was like, that's a good closing point to be like,
James
has got his thing going. He's got a billboard.
And doing real well.
Yeah, he is actually doing pretty well.
He's doing it. He's got people behind his back. In a good way. Not in the Julius Caesar way. You know.
Oh.
Yeah. Congratulations. I hope he gets it.
Yeah.
Even though that means he'll probably do even less
podcasts. Yeah.
Then we'll have to figure out the remote thing.
You right?
Yeah.
Just get him on phone at this point.
Yeah.
Because we should actually talk about if we get him back soon, what exactly he's even going for. Because what the fuck is House 1A and stuff?
That's true. Because from what I understanding, basically Minnesota is mini USA, where it has like its own House of Representatives with a Senate and a House of Representatives. But again, that's just me not knowing and being ignorant. I'll just have to look it up. Remember, everybody, Google is free.
Mm-hmm. Google is free, and asking James if he's here is even more free. So let's hope he comes in next time.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And with that, everybody, I want to thank you all for hanging with the Hooligans. Until next time, my name is Doug. We have Alex, and we have Chuck. And I bid you all farewell.